Right now, at this very moment, one Canadian city is staring down a 97% chance of snow tonight. 97%. That is the highest snow probability anywhere in the entire country. And if you live in central or eastern Canada, what is about to hit you in the next 12 hours could shut down your Wednesday morning completely. But here is the thing most people will miss. The most dangerous part of this storm is not the snow itself. I will reveal exactly what it is at the 5-minute mark, and trust me, it is something almost nobody is preparing for. First, drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from, your city, your province. I am going to break down the timing for every major region so you know exactly when this system arrives at your doorstep, when it peaks, and when it finally moves on. If your city is not covered, comment below and I will get back to you personally. Now let me give you the reward for sticking around. Here is your full storm timeline in 30 seconds. The snow is already falling in Winnipeg and Toronto right now. Ottawa hits peak snowfall between 2 and 5 in the morning. Montreal gets hammered between 3 and 6 in the morning. Sudbury, the bull SI of this entire system, will see non-stop snow from now through early Wednesday afternoon. And the twist nobody is talking about? This system does not just disappear. It tracks east. Halifax and Saint John you are next in line by Wednesday afternoon. Now let me break all of this down city by city so you know exactly what to do. Let us start where the cold is absolutely brutal tonight. Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, minus 28 degrees Celsius right now. At that temperature, your exposed skin starts developing frostbite in 10 to 15 minutes. That is not an exaggeration. That is medical fact. Thick cloud cover is hiding the northern lights, and there is about a 35% chance of light snow. But at minus 28, any moisture in the air turns into fine ice crystals that drift like dust. If you are in Yellowknife tonight, this is a stay indoors night. Full stop. Plug in your block heater, check your furnace, and do not go outside unless it is absolutely necessary. Multiple layers, insulated mitts, balaclava covering your face. This is survival weather. Over in Iqaluit, Nunavut, it is minus 22 degrees Celsius. The sun barely peaked above the horizon today before disappearing again. Only about a 20% chance of snow, but the real enemy up here is the dry, cutting Arctic air. Check your pipes for freezing risk tonight and keep that gas tank at least half full to prevent fuel line freeze up. These are not suggestions. At this temperature, these are necessities. Now, Whitehorse, Yukon is sitting at minus 7 degrees Celsius. Compared to Yellowknife, that might sound almost comfortable. But make no mistake, minus 7 is still bitterly cold. The Yukon River Valley gives Whitehorse some protection from the wind, which is a small mercy. About a 20% chance of snow. If you are one of those tough Yukoners who cross-country skis in the evening, just do not stay out too long tonight. Now here is where it gets interesting. The prairies, and I have a surprise for you about Saskatchewan that you will not expect. Stay with me. Calgary tonight is actually looking pretty good. Minus 2 degrees Celsius under clear skies. For February in Cowtown, that is almost mild. The daytime high hit 5 degrees Celsius, possibly thanks to Chinook winds rolling off the Rockies. Only a 5% chance of snow. But here is the catch. Those clear skies mean rapid heat loss overnight. By 3 or 4 in the morning, expect minus 8 to minus 10 degrees. Drivers, watch for black ice on overpasses, especially on the Deerfoot. Edmonton is running colder at minus 6 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy skies. About a 10% chance of snow. If your car is parked outside tonight, plug in that block heater. We have all learned that lesson the hard way, standing in the driveway at 7 in the morning with an engine that will not turn over. Now here is the Saskatchewan surprise I promised you. Saskatoon tonight, minus 8 degrees Celsius. And the chance of snow? 0%. 0. In February. In Saskatchewan. That almost never happens. It is one of those perfectly still prairie nights where you can see a million stars if you step outside the city limits. The kind of sky that makes you understand why the license plates say Land of Living Skies. Beautiful, but still dangerously cold. Regina is nearly identical. Minus 7 degrees, clear skies, 0% chance of snow. But here is what Regina residents need to watch. With no hills, no forests, nothing to break the wind chill could push the feeling down to minus 15 or even minus 18 by 3 in the morning. Anyone working night shifts or catching early flights, layer up and cover all exposed skin. All right, Winnipeg, Winterpeg. The city that has earned that nickname 1,000 times over, -8 degrees Celsius right now, and light snow is already falling across the city. Gentle flakes drifting down onto Portage Avenue and the Forks. Wind chill could drop to -20 or lower tonight. The intersection of Portage and Maine is going to feel like the surface of Mars. If you were thinking about heading out to watch the Jets game at a pub, maybe catch it from the couch instead. And for tomorrow morning, give yourself extra time. The roads will be ugly. Do not skip the next section. This is the most critical part of tonight's forecast, and it directly affects millions of Canadians. Central Canada, Ontario. This is the Snowball SI, and I need everyone in this region paying close attention right now. Ottawa, the nation's capital, -16 degrees Celsius right now. And here is the headline number, 88% chance of snow overnight. That is as close to a guarantee as weather science gets. The snow system arrives in full force between midnight and 1 in the morning. Peak snowfall hits between 2 and 5 in the morning, dumping heavy, dry, powdery snow across the entire national capital region. The Parliament buildings, the Rideau Canal, the Queensway, everything gets buried. The snow begins tapering off by late Wednesday morning, but by then, the damage to your commute is already done. Ottawa residents, here is your action plan. Clear your walkways tonight before bed if you can. Stock up on road salt. Leave at least 30 minutes earlier than usual tomorrow. The Queensway will be crawling. Check OC Transpo alerts, and if you do not absolutely have to drive, do not. Toronto. Light snow falling right now at -6 degrees Celsius. Here is the good news. Only about a 10% chance of continued snow overnight, so this should taper off relatively soon. But here is the twist. Lake Ontario could trigger localized lake effect snow bands in the eastern suburbs. Scarborough, Pickering, Ajax, you could wake up to significantly more snow than downtown. The TTC subway is your best bet tonight. If you are driving, the Gardner and the Don Valley Parkway get treacherous fast when temperatures drop below freezing. Now Sudbury. This is the city I mentioned at the very beginning. 97% chance of snow, the highest in the entire country. Sudbury is sitting right in the crosshairs of this system. The snow started falling earlier today, and it is not stopping. Peak intensity hits overnight between 11 tonight and 5 in the morning. This is not going to let up until Wednesday afternoon. School bus cancellations are a real possibility tomorrow. Here is what Sudbury residents need to do right now. Stay home if you can. Have flashlights and candles ready because heavy wet snow on power lines means outage risk. Make sure you have enough food and essentials for 24 hours. If you must drive, headlights on, speed way down, and give yourself plenty of room. Highway 17 through the Sudbury area could be extremely difficult overnight. Thunder Bay on the shores of Lake Superior is at -6 degrees with a 35% chance of snow. But here is the wild card. Lake effect snow. Cold Arctic air sweeping across Superior picks up moisture and dumps it in sudden, heavy bands along the shore. If you live along the lakeside or in the south end of the city, you could get hammered with snow, while areas further inland see almost nothing. Completely unpredictable and incredibly localized. Now, here is the 5-minute reveal I promised you. The most dangerous part of this entire storm system is not the snow. It is the combination of extreme cold and morning timing. When millions of Canadians step outside Wednesday morning into -10, -15, -20 degree air after a night of heavy snowfall, the risk is not just slippery roads. It is frozen car doors, dead batteries, furnace failures in homes that have been fighting the cold all night, and frostbite on the walk from your front door to your car. This combination of deep cold plus heavy snow plus rush hour is what turns a winter storm into a genuine emergency. Prepare tonight so you are not scrambling tomorrow morning. All right, Eastern Canada, Quebec, and the Atlantic provinces. Do not skip this part because the storm is heading your way next. Quebec City, -19 degrees Celsius, the coldest major city in Eastern Canada tonight. Clear skies, which look stunning over the old fortified walls, but means temperatures keep dropping through the night. Only about a 10% chance of snow, so at least there is that. But if you are out enjoying Carnival de Quebec tonight, the wind chill could push the feeling down to -25 or even -30. That crosses into the danger zone. This is not optional winter gear tonight. This is survival gear. Heavy parka, insulated boots, lined mitts, toque, face covered. Montreal, -14 degrees Celsius. And here is the big number, 75% chance of snow. A moisture-laden system approaching from the southwest collides with the cold air sitting over the region, and the result is significant snowfall. The snow arrives between 2 and 4 in the morning, peak intensity between 4 and 7 in the morning, right during rush hour. By dawn, St. Catherine Street, the Old Port, the Plateau, the entire island could be wearing a thick white coat. The metro is your lifeline tomorrow. Surface bus routes will see delays. If you are in Laval or the South Shore, the Champlain Bridge will require serious patience. Fredericton, New Brunswick, minus 11 degrees Celsius, but here is welcome news. 0% chance of snow, crystal clear skies. A cold, dry, perfectly still maritime night. Watch for fog forming along the Saint John River Valley by early morning, though. It could affect visibility on highway approaches. Halifax, minus 5 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy, only 10% chance of snow tonight. The Atlantic Ocean keeps Halifax from getting as brutally cold as inland cities. But do not relax yet, Halifax. Remember what I said earlier about this system tracking east? Wednesday afternoon, that snow system that is currently burying Ottawa and heading for Montreal will reach you. Fresh snowfall is expected by Wednesday evening. Consider this your early warning. Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, minus 4 degrees, overcast, 20% chance of snow. If you need to cross the Confederation Bridge tonight, slow down and check advisories first. The bridge can experience winds and ice conditions far worse than either shore. And finally, Saint John, Newfoundland. The city is doing what it does best in February. Heavy snow falling right now, coating those famously steep and colorful streets, right at 0 degrees Celsius with a 55% chance of continued snow overnight. Saint John gets over 330 centimeters of snow every winter, and tonight is adding to that total. Atlantic gales can drop visibility to near zero. If you are on one of those legendary hills and visibility drops, pull over and wait. Better late than sliding backwards down a hill. Stay safe out there. Before I move to the West Coast, let me repeat the most critical timing for the millions of you in the snow zones, because this is information you cannot afford to miss. Sudbury, the snow does not stop until Wednesday afternoon. Ottawa, peak snowfall 2 to 5 in the morning, tapering by midday. Montreal, the worst hits between 4 and 7 in the morning during rush hour. Halifax and Saint John, brace yourselves for Wednesday afternoon and evening as this system pushes through. Set your alarms early. Prepare tonight, now the West Coast. And honestly, this is going to feel like a completely different country. Vancouver, 6 degrees Celsius above zero. Let that sink in. 6 above in Vancouver, while Ottawa is at minus 16. A 22-degree spread between two Canadian cities on the same night. The catch? 45% chance of rain. Not snow. Rain. Bring an umbrella. Watch for hydroplaning on the Trans-Canada through Port Mann. Victoria. Also 6 degrees. The Garden City, living up to its name while the rest of the country shivers. Only 20% chance of rain. Victorians can take an evening stroll along the inner harbor in a light jacket. The rest of Canada is jealous, and rightfully so. Kelowna in the Okanagan. 1 degree Celsius, overcast, only 10% chance of snow, calm and quiet. Watch for black ice on Highway 97. Charlie and the switchbacks on Highway 33. Here is your final summary. Coldest city tonight, Yellowknife at minus 28. Highest snow risk, Sudbury at 97%. The snow system peaks overnight across central Canada and tracks eastward through Wednesday, hitting Quebec hard by morning and the Atlantic provinces by afternoon. West Coast, you are in the clear with just some rain. One last thing. Wednesday's forecast has a major development that could affect the entire Atlantic region by Thursday. I will have the full breakdown in tomorrow's update, including hour-by-hour timing for Halifax and Saint John as this system arrives. You do not want to miss that one. Stay warm tonight, Canada. Plug in those block heaters, check your furnaces, keep your pets inside, and look after each other. And remember, drop a comment with your city so I can make sure your area is covered in the next update.